Yeah.
What did we say yesterday? Come on, somebody.
Common denominator.
Right, find the common denominator, right? Can I factor either denominator? No. So what's the common denominator, Taylor? X minus 4, is that it?
Yeah.
And x. Whatever shows up, what do we say? You gotta write it down, right? Okay? So, when you do this next step then, when you multiply everything by the common denominator, your fractions will be eliminated. Okay? So, when I multiply 10 over x times that, and that's basically over 1, right? What happens to the two x's? They're gone. So this is 10 times x minus 4 plus 3 times both of those. Right? 3 times both of those. And then equals, I'm running out of room. What happens to the x minus 4s? They cancel, so it's x times x plus 9. There's no more fractions. Right, Lander? Okay? So, the x's cancel, so it's 10 times that. Nothing cancels, so it's 3 times both of them. 3 times x minus 4 equals, here the x minus 4's cancel, so it's x plus 9 times x. No more fractions. So now we just distribute and then solve it. Okay? So I got a 10x minus 40. I'll do it down here so I got more room. 10x minus 40 when I distribute the 10. 3x squared minus 12x when I distribute the 3x. And x squared plus 9x when I distribute the x. Well, I see an x squared. So what type of equation is that? Quadratic. So we have to set it equal to 0 to solve it. Okay? That's nothing new for us. We've solved many quadratic equations. So I'm going to bring the x squared over and the 9x. So I got 0 over here. Okay? So what's 3x squared minus 1x squared? 2x squared, right? I got a 10x minus 12x is negative 2x minus 9x is negative 11x. And then I got a negative 40 and nothing else, right? Okay. So that doesn't look real easy to factor, right? So let's use the quadratic formula, since this isn't real easy to factor. All right, so we're going to go x equals negative b plus or minus the square root of b squared minus 4 times a times c all over 2 times a. All right, so we haven't done that for a while. That's why I wanted to do this anyway. Okay, but that's nothing new for us either. So we get a positive 11 plus or minus 2 times 2 is 4, and 11 squared is 121. Negative 4 times 2 is negative 8 times a negative 40 is a positive 320. Right? So that's, what is that, 441 when I add those? I think that might be a perfect square. Is that 21? I'm going to check me. Square root of 441, is that 21? AJ? Yes.
Yeah.
21? Okay. So we got 11 plus or minus 21 over 4. So what's 11 plus 21? 32. What's 32 divided by 4? 8. That's one answer. What's 11 minus 21? Negative 10, right? Negative 10 fourths reduces to negative 5 halves. Okay, so there's my two answers. What are we always supposed to do with these types of problems when we get our answer? See if we don't get a zero, right? In the box. We gotta plug them in. So go back to the original, which is up here a little bit. There we go. If I put an 8 in for that x and this x, will I get a 0? You don't know what 8 minus 4 is, William? Well, you better fix it then. Well, you need to fix it, okay? You're gonna be a senior, right? So you need to fix what's going on with you, right? So 8's okay, right? And then we got negative 2.5, right? Negative 2.5 is okay there. Negative 2.5 minus 4 is a negative 6.5. So both those answers are good. Okay? So I just showed you using the quadratic formula because we haven't done that for a while. But that would have factored that 2x squared minus 11x minus 40. And then add them up. Do that. Put all these numbers in for x. I know. What is it? All right. So answers to homework. Number 1, that's a fraction equal to a fraction. We call that a proportion. What did we say yesterday we were going to do with those? Cross multiply, yes. So, number 1, you get x is 4. Number 3, x is 5. Number 5, x is negative 5 and positive 7. And number 7, x is negative 1 and 0. Any of those you would like me to go over? Okay. 17 to 25 odd. All right. We can do them if you want.
I mean, maybe not 7.
I have a question.
Go ahead, Sid.
In number 5, I got negative 7 and 5.
Good question.
Did you say number 7 or 5? 5. So you go x times x minus 1 equals 2x plus 7 times x minus 5, right? Okay, so when I distribute the x, I get x squared minus x. When I FOIL this, I get 2x squared minus 10x plus 7x minus 35. All right, I'm going to subtract the x squared and add the x to get these together. And so it's equal to 0. Oops. I got to do mine. Caleb, shut up.
Oh.
All right, so I got negative 10 plus 7 is negative 3 plus 1 is negative 2. Okay? So when I factor that, x minus 7 and x plus 5, right? So I get a negative 5 and a positive 7. Did you just have your signs wrong when you factored it? Did you put plus 7 and negative 5 instead?
Yeah.
Okay, that's where you went wrong. Everything else was good? Anything else on those 1, 3, 5, or 7? Okay. So, you guys are okay with, let's just do this real quick. All right, for all of them, because we're not going to have time to go over all of them. What's the common denominator for that one? 2x. What's the common denominator for this one?
X minus 4, x.
X and X minus 4, right? What's the common denominator for this one? Right, X plus 4 and X minus 1. Okay? Now this one we're going to have to factor. That's X times X minus 3. Okay, when I factor that, it's got a GCF. So what's the common denominator? X and X minus 3, right? And then this last one, we can't factor anything. What's the common denominator? Right, X and X plus 6. That's not that hard to figure out, is it? What you have to multiply everything by?
No.
Okay, and then when you multiply everything by that common denominator, everything gets canceled in the denominator. Then you got to multiply for your numerator. So let's just use the time we got left to work on 25.
So you never have a denominator, ever.
What do you mean by never have a denominator?
Because if they all cancel.
Right, when you multiply everything by the common denominator, you're correct. There won't be a denominator anymore. Yeah, after you do that step, yeah. So when I do this one, what happens to the X plus 6s? Cancel, so it's X times X plus 1. What happens to the X's? They cancel, so it's 1 times X plus 6. What happens to the X plus 6s? Cancel, so it's X times 2X plus 1. So see, no denominators anymore. That's why we do that. We get rid of the denominators when we do that. Now it's just distributing, combining like terms, and solving. Okay? So I get X squared plus X. When I distribute the X, I get X plus 6. When I distribute the 1, I get 2X squared plus X when I distribute the X. Okay? So since the 2X squared is over here, I like my X squared to be positive, so I'm taking all that stuff over. What's X plus X? 2X. So I'm going to subtract 2X, and I'm going to subtract the 6. So all this is gone. I got 0. I got X squared. What's 1 minus 2? Negative 1. What are the factors of negative 6 that add up to negative 1? Negative 3 and positive 2, right? What are my two answers? 3 and negative 2, right? Sometimes we forget that we got to switch those, right? Now we check it, okay? 3 plus 6 is 9. 3 is just 3. 3 plus 6 is 9. 3 is good. Negative 2 plus 6 is 4. Negative 2 is okay. Negative 2 is 4. So both of those are good. The only time they don't work when you check them is when you get a 0 in the bottom. Okay? Is that helping? Somewhat. Okay, here's more practice.
We'll get there.
Right there. 5 problems for homework.
Find out whether nothing's wrong. Sounds great. Hold on. If things go this don't get, would not be able to clean up. Literally not cleanable. Well, once I open it, I have 14 days to if we don't open it, it's still 20. Explode. I knew it was not explosive. How could you forget about these? And would you please quit reading the note I gave you?
I don't think I'll be here tomorrow.
No, my milk.
You're getting a practice.
Oh. I spent $1.25 on this thing, man. Where did you find it?
$1.
Second hand. You were on that list. Caleb was. This is for biking or hiking or for a parent. Biking is so cool. And if you're biking, no, it wasn't. If I'm working out, I throw my they just leave it on the shelf. They put it on the shelf and
That's
so.
weird.
That's how they get their people to buy it. 'Cause it's so
Okay,
glass.
do we have to write
HD.
too? Is that really?
Really crazy.